Hello, everybody. I hope you are well. I hope you're having an amazing day. May I apologize for just getting back with you. The old bird has been a little under the weather, going back and forth to the doctors, but I'm okay. And we are back to learning to sign our names. If you don't know how to sign your name, or if you know somebody that doesn't know how to sign their names, join us here live and watch the videos and catch up and practice, practice, practice. Now, today we're going to do the letter G and hopefully H if we have enough time. Now, we've done the letter A. Now, let me explain. I'm not on the farm again today. I just don't have internet. So when I came to Walmart, I decided to go live here in the parking lot. Now I have this newfangled piece of equipment. So I noticed that it's trembling just a little. So I may be shaking just a little. It's not music playing. It's my newfangled holder for my phone. Now, let me see. I'm going to tilt it down. There we go. Going to tilt, tilt, tilt as far as it will go. And we can see the pad. Now, let me see. Oh, I'm sorry. My hand is in the way. There we go. There it is. Now, we learned the capital A. We learned the little a. We learned the capital B, the little b, the capital C, the little c, the capital D, little d, the capital E, and the little e. Then, let me see, let me get in the shot. Then we went on to practice writing them side by side, the capital E and the little e. Then we moved on to the letter F, and we wrote the capital F, and we practiced. We wrote it numerous times, and you were supposed to be writing a whole page of the capital F. Then we wrote the little f, and I explained the 3 lines, and we wrote a bunch of those. Now, if you've been practicing and you've been joining me, send me a snapshot of your cursive writing. Let me see it. I would love to see it. And these are the small letters A, B, C, D, E, and F. I hope you can see it really well. There it is. Now today we are going to write the letter G. And G is easy peasy. It just takes practice. Now let me know if your first name starts with the letter G. Since that's what we're practicing today, put it in the comments. Let me know if your first name begins with the letter G. There are the practice F's, the capital F at the top and the small f on the bottom. Now, guys, I bought this newfangled thing to hold my telephone while we practice our writing. I don't know what shows up the best in this parking lot, but I'll do it on both. We'll practice on the white paper after we practice on the yellow tablet. Now today I'm using this ink pen. See? And we are going to do the letter G. Now, for some reason, I thought we did the letter G, but let's try it again. We are going to use, I hope this you can see it well, the 3 lines. And once we learn it on the 3 lines, I'm telling you, it's easy peasy to write it anywhere because you know where the letters fall. You know how to write it. The lines will help us learn. And once we learn it, we've got it. Now for the letter G. The letter G can be written several ways, but I'm going to start. I hope I'm in the shot. I'm going to start on the bottom, go up to the 3rd. Let me see, G, G. Wait a minute, guys. I kind of forgot how to make the letter G, G. Yeah. G. Yeah, how to make a G. E, F, G, G, yeah. Let me tell you, we're going to do the G in two different ways. The capital G. Because right this minute, the old bird has forgotten how to do it. It's 2 ways to write. You can make the capital G just like you make the little g and start at the top 3rd line. Come around. There's the 2nd line, the 3rd line. Come up. Is it close enough for you to see? And the little g is the same, but you start at the center line, come up, go down to that next line, and leave that tail. Now, you know you have this tail because if you were writing a word, this tail would connect to the next letter. Now, that's one way to write the G. I cannot right this minute. I can't remember. Look like you go up and I can't remember, guys. I hadn't planned this, so I didn't practice. So let's do this G, and I promise the next time I go live, I'll have it down. I would have practiced the 2nd G. So let's make a bunch of the capital G this way, and we'll know 2 ways to make it. And this capital G is just like the little g. The little g starts at the center, down, and back up. Don't forget that little tail. And that's it. Easy peasy. Now, the other way to make the G is more fancy, and right this minute, I am so tired, guys. I can't remember how to do that. This is the G. Easy peasy. You can do it. Start at the top of that 3rd line. Let me draw the lines, and you will be able to see it a little better. We're going to start at the top. We're going to come around to the bottom 3rd line. We're going to make that loop. That's the capital G. The little g is the same way, but we start at the center line, go around, make that circle, touch that line where we started, come around, make the loop. That's the little g. And don't forget that tail, because that's where we would connect the next letter. Now let's practice that. Round, come down, touch that 3rd. There we go. That's the capital G. Little g, center line. Around, up, touch that line. Down, touch that line, make the loop. Don't forget that tail, because if we were writing a word, round, touch that line. That's why it's easy to learn with a ruled piece of paper or a pad. And once you get it, you got it. Now let's do it again. We're going to start at the top, around, up, touch that line down to this line and make that tail. Little G, center line around, go up and touch it, make that loop, and don't forget your tail. Now let me show you. If you were writing the word girl, Girl, you would start 1, 2, 3 lines. You would start at this center line with your little G. Come around, go up, touch that line, down to this line, Girl. That's girl. So that's why it's so important to um, leave your tail because it connects to something else. If we were writing the word get, Get, little g, we're going to start at this center line. That's the center line. We're going to come around, make that circle, touch that line, down to this line, E, up, down, T, Get. So you see, that's why we need this little tail. So practice the letter G. Let's try the letter G again. Capital G, around, touch that line down, make that loop, leave that tail. Little G, center line, around, down, don't forget that tail. Big G, around, touch that line. Little G, around, center line, we started. I'm sorry, we started at the center line. Now let's start at the capital G. Round, down, touch that line. I'm sorry, I got strangled. And leave your tail. Little G, we're going to start at the center line around, make your circle, go up and touch, down to that line, leave your tail. I'm so sorry, guys. Let's do it again. Capital G, around, make that circle, touch that line, down to this line, make your loop. There we go. Little G, center line, around, make your circle, touch that line, down, leave your tail. You can do it. I'm sorry. It's my fault. I was not prepared today. I just don't have internet at home, and it's so hard. And I so want to help you to learn to cursive write so you can sign your name. You've got to learn to sign your name. We've got to know how to sign our name. And it's such an accomplishment that will carry you for the rest of your life. Now look, that's the letter G. Practice. Do a couple of pages of the letter G. And I'm going to give you another way to write that G. Now let's try the letter H. The letter H. Now, if your first name begins with the letter H, let me know. I had an uncle whose name was Herbert Henry Plummer Williams. Instead of having a first name, a middle name, and a last name, he had a first name, 2 middle names, and a last name. Herbert Henry Plummer Williams was his last name, Williams. That's my last name, my last maiden name. Well, Herbert and Henry both started with the letter H. So let's create the letter H. Now we're going to still use 3 lines, and I hope you can see this. We're going to start at the top line, and we're going to make that smile. You remember that smile? and we're going to come down on an angle. Now, you know, you'll be sitting at the desk and you're going to be writing with your arm like this. And it's much, much easier because your brain will be telling your arm to smile, 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 smile. And then it's going to tell you, your brain is going to tell your arm, smile and line down, smile, line down, smile, line down. I'm writing a little bit with my hand as opposed to with my arm. You write with your arm only because I'm in the car in this position. Now let's try that again. You're going to smile at that top line and down. Smile, down. Smile, down. Smile, down. You can do it. Okay, we're going to smile, down, and lift your pen or pencil. We're going to go back to the top line, and we're going to come down to the third line, and we're going to make a loop in the center. Let's try it again. Smile down, lift your pen or pencil, go to the top top line down to the third line, up in the center, make a loop. That's your letter H. Smile down, go back, lift your pen or pencil, go back to the top, down to the third line, up, make your loop. Now that's before you lift your pen or pencil. Let's try it again. Smile, down. Lift your pen or pencil, move over. Top line, down to the third, make your loop. That's the letter H. Smile, down. Top, down, make your loop. And out. That's the letter H. You can do it. Let's try it again. Smile, down. Move over, down, loop. Smile, down, down, loop. Smile, down, move over, down, loop. Smile, down, down, loop. Easy peasy. Smile, down, move over, down, loop. Smile, down, down, loop. That's the letter H. Now, if you look at the cursive H, it looks very similar to the printed H. This is a printed H. Straight down, across. Well, you see, your cursive capital H is slanted. Remember I told you, when you put your pad down, you're going to slant the bottom. Which way? Tell me. Tell me in the comments. Now, for the cursive H, you're going to smile, down, move over, down, make your loop. So you see the H looks very similar to the printed H. Now let's try it again. Smile, down, move over, down, make your curve. Smile, down, move over, down, make that loop. Smile, down, move over, down, up, and make that loop. That's the cross in your letter H. Now, that's the capital H. Practice, do a couple of pages of the Oh, there it is. I lost internet for a brief second. Now let me see if I can get it to stop shaking. Let's create the little h. Now, what we're going to do with the little h, we're going to start down at the line number 3. This is the first line, the center line, the third line. We're going to start at that bottom third line, and we're going to put our pen or pencil on that third line, up to the center line, and back down, and leave that tail to the small letter H. Okay, let's try it again. Third line, up, make a loop at that top line, down, back up to the center, and make that tail. Easy peasy, you can do it. So hump in that H. Third line, up, around, down, up to the center line, around that hump, and leave that tail. There you go. Third line, up, loop, down, back up to the center line, make that hump, and leave that tail. Let's try it again. The small letter H, start at the third line. We're going to go up to the first line, back down, touch that third line, up that same line, make that hump in the center, and don't forget that tail. You can do it. Let's try it again. Third line, up, make that loop, down, come up to the center line, hump, and make that tail. You got it. Up, down, there we go. Up, loop, up that same line to the center, make that hump, don't forget that tail. That's the small letter H. Third line, up, loop, down, back up that same line, touch that center line, make that hump and tail. You got it. Come on, let's practice. We can do it. We can do this. There we go. Now look, that's the capital H. That's the little h in cursive. We need to practice, practice, practice. Create at least 2 pages of the letter H. And then we'll move on. You can do it. I know you can. It's not that difficult. And let me know, does your first name begin with the letter H, or does it begin with the letter G? Now, in closing, let's write the letters that we've already learned. Let me get the white piece of paper. I'm going to sit this down, and I'll get the white tablet, and perhaps you can see it better. Let's get a clean sheet. Here we go. The first letter we learned was the letter A. Does your first name begin with the letter A? That's A, little a, identical. It's just that we started on that center line. Capital B, smile, down, up, make that hump, hump. That's the B. Little b, start at the third line, up, down, loop, up to the center, and out. Remember? C. C is like the capital A. They're the same. Start at the top. We're going to go come down just a little, come around and up. That's the capital C. Little c, we're going to start in the center, down, back up to that center line, around. That's the little c. D. Smile, down, around, come on around, up to the third line. That's the capital D. Little d, center line, down, around, up, touch that circle, touch the top line down, and leave that tail, D. The letter E, capital E, down, center line, loop, capital E, little e. Start at the third line, up, touch that center line, make that loop. That's the letter E, the little e. Capital F. Down, up, we're going to come across that top line, center that top line, going to come around, and then cross. That's the letter F. I'm sorry, guys. Little F. We're going to start at the third line. We're going to come up, down. We're going to come all the way down to that fourth line and out. That's the little F. G. Now I'm going to teach you a new G when we come back. Top line around, touch that, close that circle, come down to that fourth line, leave that tail. Little G, identical. Only we're starting in that center line, around, touch, down, up. The letter H. We're going to smile. Don't move your pen or pencil on that top line. Come down to the third line. Lift your pen or pencil. Move over. Top line. Come down to the third line. Go up and over. Make that loop. Capital H. Little h. We're going to start at the third line on the bottom. We're going to come up. Touch that top line down. Go up those same lines. Make that loop. Don't forget that tail. There we go. Practice. Now, again, let me get my phone. Sorry to put my hand in front of the camera. I don't know how to do it any other way. I think I have it upside down. I'm not certain. But I hope you got something from this. I think it's terrible that some of us don't know how to write cursive to sign our names. And we've got to learn it. We've got to do it. And you can do it. I'm here for you. I don't have internet right now, and it's not coming until October or November. But it's coming. As frequently as I can, I'll come on live. But I can communicate with you. If you send me a message, message me on Facebook at the farm, the Old Bird Farms. Message me on Instagram, the Old Bird Farms. Or message me on YouTube at Linda the Old Bird. And I promise I'll communicate with you. I'll send you whatever you need. If you need paper, if you need pens, let me know. And this summer, when we go back to school, those of you that are teenagers or those of you that's learning to write cursive with me, when you go back to school, very soon, summer's almost over. It's July. And a lot of you will be going to school. When you go back, hey, look at what you can tell them you learned. And I'm excited for you. I'm trying to help you. I know that this is terrible. I know that my lighting is awful. I know that my equipment is awful. But I just couldn't take it anymore. I want to help if I can. So you reach out to the Old Bird, and I promise I'll get back with you. Have a blessed day. Life is short. For some time to smile, and God is good to us. Keep looking up until I see you again. Thank you for joining me. Bye-bye.